good.
Oh, Henry.
Hi, Henry.
Where are you?
He's down here. He's hiding.
Oh, yeah. There he is.
He's in amongst the other hiders. Oh, hey!
Oh.
MDS! Whee! He's peer pressure everyone to turn their cameras on.
Oh, those pieces that are missing.
I know from teaching that it's so nice to be able to see a face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hated.
Oh, yeah, you're starting to trend.
Scotch tape.
Oh, no, Natalie's gone now.
Scotch tape me back together again.
Who's babbling away? Is that you, Dieter?
I'm here. I'm a face.
Rikki's here.
Hey, Rikki.
Em and
Hey.
Shimshon just trick us into thinking that they're faces because they've got such great photos of themselves up. Every now and then I'm like, oh, Em's here. No. And camera's not on.
Yeah.
Hey Cole, I'm here too. I'm on the same video.
I was worried for a sec there, Mark.
What?
I'm in the background. I'm not saying shit.
Like, keep it down over there, Mark. Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
What else we got out there? Terry. You done connecting or what? Trying to get that audio going, Terry.
Ah, the one and only Ken. What? Ken's in the house.
I like the little, you're getting some party in the back there, Ken.
I want to like braid it and ponytail it like Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
yeah.
My inspiration.
See if I can do a close up of the baby for everyone. Oh, he won't turn his head. He says no, no world.
It's small.
Oh, he's hiding. He's not ready, you guys. No.
He's shy. He's got stage fright. All right, we're gonna get started in a minute or two here. Is everyone here? Let's start with that. I know Grace went down. Grace went down to the alternator, everyone, to do the show. It's only the second person all year, so I think that's pretty good. There was somebody else that went down to the alternate. Oh yeah, Ken. That was when you were a little more business in the back there than. How's your day, Michael?
Oh, good. Reasonably productive.
That's good.
I actually went to campus today and worked in my office for the first time in a year.
Wow.
I had to drop my computer off because it died and get a replacement. So I just worked on campus for an hour.
Was it weird?
It was so weird.
Like, it's like on Walking Dead where he goes back to the hospital that he starts out at in the beginning.
It's exactly like that. The whole time I'm walking through the halls, all I can think of is germs, germs, germs,
Yeah.
germs, germs, germs. It's like you're walking through, everything's on a filter now.
Yeah.
The filter's exhausting.
Yeah, it is.
That's my day. How's your day?
That's pretty good. I got outside a lot today with Cedar, so that was really nice. It's beautiful out.
Yeah.
I did get a birthday present in the mail. I got jelly beans and something pornographic.
Oh.
And my husband said, "Oh, look, it's a bottoms diet."
You want to come say hello? We've got two crying eyes over here. Crying. Crying.
Oh, run away!
Hey, shh. On the stairs, though.
God, Jesus. All right, let's do a bit of a head count here. Natalie, I see you. Mark. Stephanie, yeah, woo! Grace, I think, is still maybe not here. Rikki, Travis, you're out there? You're swearing somewhere in the background? There you are. And then Dieter and Erin. Okay. Well, maybe let's get started here. I start. Oh, thank you. You're too kind. I'm drifting on the mic here a little bit because the mic's actually just a prop today. I usually plug it in through a thing to the computer, but I was like trying to battle Cedar to sleep like 10 minutes ago, so I just set the mic up to make it feel, to give it the feel. But I can do some kind of moving around on it today. Yeah, I usually open the show with a poem, but I decided we've got a lot going on this show for the first time in a while. We've been keeping them a bit shorter, but we decided to do a poetry slam today. So I thought, I'd save a poem for the end. And if we have time, if it's like 8:30, then we'll cut you loose. Yeah, so as always, I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the unceded ancestral territories of the Okanagan Silk people. If you're joining us from anywhere else and you'd like to put into the chat whose land you're on, the indigenous peoples whose land you're on, that would be great. We would love that. If you don't know that and maybe now would be a good time while you're like tuning in and out of some wonderful poetry and mediocre filibustering to have a look and do some research on whose land you're on. Yeah, so basically we're gonna have a really short open mic tonight, and then we're gonna get into a 7-person slam. It's gonna be fairly quick. It'll be 2 rounds, kind of winner take all in the second round. But we've got a pretty stacked lineup tonight, so I'm pretty stoked. We got some of the people who have really been slamming the last couple of years, so I think it's gonna be pretty fun. This is Erin and I's first show since having little Heath over there. So I feel fairly showered and fairly slept, and you know the structure's a little loose here. Rikki's always slamming. Rikki slams all the time into other cars in Costco parking lot. Or no, that was someone else into you, right? I don't know. She fender benders sometimes, Rikki. Okay. Well, let's get to some poetry here. Maybe that's what people might like to hear. So first up to the mic, Inspired Word Café's own puppet master, the giant wizard head behind the curtain herself, Erin Scott, feet, period, Heath Mash. Let's have a round of applause, everybody.
Okay, everyone, it's so nice to be back. I haven't been at an event, I think, since maybe November even. I don't know if I went to the December one. So it's nice to see everyone. And
you're Santa.
Oh, I was Santa at the December one. That's right. I kept making sneaky appearances in my Santa costume with my huge pregnant belly. So if you missed that, then you really missed out. And I feel bad for you out there and wherever you all are. But that being said, we're here now in March. It's beautiful out. It's so nice to be back. I have just one poem to share with everybody tonight. And I actually wanted to share this poem because of a poem. It must have been at that December open mic that I was Santa Claus that Shimshon shared a bit of writing about life as somebody who is not neurotypical. And I don't often write about my own relationship to that, but I've been recently working on writing that has to do with looking at self instead of always forever writing about my children and my partner and my poor mother, who also happens to be upstairs right now. So today, instead, here's a poem that's very early stage, new, just like Heath, but ready to maybe come and meet everybody. So this poem is called Threats to Self-Perception. It is our policy to have everyone wear a mask. It is policy to be masked.
Masking is policy. Here, we all wear masks to threaten our self-perception and appear neurotypical. It is typical to avoid fixating on things you cannot control, like wearing a mask in public. For the public health and wellness of our public, we are masked by choice. Choose life and each other. Masking is policy here, so please care about others by wearing your mask. When in close proximity to others, so close you can smell their perfume of sage and oleander, or hear their fight over the phone about who was supposed to pick up the kids from school who do not have to wear masks yet. Touch the door handle. Touch the door handle, press the open button, open the door, wear your mask, wear the mask you are given, smile under the mask, ask for a mask, be okay wearing a mask before the pandemic, but like not a real mask, you know? One of those masks you wear to pretend to everyone you are processing normally, typically, ably. You are ably so and capable and competent, and when the sounds crash against your skull, your ears ringing with the refrigerator hum, the replacements over the record player speakers, the time of the clock ticking forward, did you remember to brush your teeth this morning? How uncomfortable it is to be under the intense pressure of the shower head, and so showering is avoided until it is noticeable, and you want to be yeast-free, but you are not there yet in your life. Wear the mask. Keep the mask in your bag, just in case. Please put on your mask. The mask is policy of masking. For self-protection, but mainly the protection of others who do not recognize your mask as their own. Thank you.
Woo! Oh man, that is some consistent clapping. Love it. I love that poem. It was like, it had a bit of a like Gertrude Stein kind of thing going on, like a Gertrude Stein in the pandemic kind of thing going on. She would have had a field day with the pandemic and with like Trump and stuff, I bet. Am I muted? Was I muted? That was weird. Did people hear Erin's poem? Oh, good. I wonder why I muted after. Strange. Okay, so we've got a new face. Can people hear me now? Great. Okay, so we've got a new face to IWC who comes to us via a very, very familiar face to IWC. So Mark's good buddy Dieter Horn is going to read a couple poems. Mark says he's a ripping bass player, so I think he's gonna lay down some licks for us afterwards. Is that right? No, you're gonna slap. Is he gonna slap anything? No, he's not slapping. Okay, just poems. He's gonna slap the poems though. So let's have a warm IWC welcome for a new face for Dieter Horn, everybody. Dieter.
Well, my friend Mark here has been doing this for a while. This is my first time, and I'm quite proud of Mark. He's a professional poet now, apparently. Anyway, here I go. Yes, I'm ready, born ready, left to learn on my own. That's the way I like it. That's the way I trust. I explore my avenues and rock the trails to pick up whatever is mine. What's left behind sometime that has been missed, something adrift floating my way. Only I will see and believe it is truth. It is a reflection of days gone by, a shadow of once it was, I believe.
Woo! Dieter!
Less is better, more or less. Less the mess, less the confusion, less the collusion. Missed illusion, the world alive, it feeds and thrives on thoughts derived, created as lives fall through the doors on expectations, within our grasp. Hopes and visions become reality. It's true how you are in control. You have the power. It's in your soul. It's always about when you're not looking, maybe when you're cooking the tea or boiling water you can't see. One moment you're away, the next it's a flame and a fire like no higher. Time has its own destiny. You have no control. In the moment of it all, just look away. I love it. I hate it. That's the thing. Make me mad, Facebook. Make me mad. It's such a fad, such a farce. There's more than one way to travel a highway. Feeling let down, out of place, like a recluse without a face. Don't judge. What you see is what you get. Another day goes by, another space we lie, just to make a place to live and thrive alone, without connection in life. In your face, it's just poetry, man. Don't get mad.
Just poetry. Dieter. You're on here.
I'm sorry I said. That's it. And I was desperate. I didn't know what else to say to get you to reply. Last measures in my life, just to communicate with you is all I wanted. I felt so alone and lost in a world gone wrong. My soul was crying out for someone to hate me, to do anything to respond. Why am I here? Why do you care? What else is left? How much more can I deal with? Rejection, remorse, regret. The world is made for you to suffer like Christ did. That's all I know. Ain't no surprise. That's where I live now.
All right, Dieter.
That's pretty heavy.
Thanks so much, man. You're at your 5 minutes there.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give you the hook, but thanks so much for coming and reading poems. Let's have another round of applause for Dieter.
Thank you very much.
How did that feel, Dieter?
Oh, great.
Have you read poems before, man?
No.
You did great. I thought you were so great. How have you been writing very long, or?
Oh yeah, I've been writing a long time.
That's awesome.
It comes with the music.
Yeah, right. So I was gonna say a lot of your poems, they sounded like they could be like rock song lyrics, kind of. So I really dug that.
Yes, I've written a few songs.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an enjoyable thing.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for coming out.
It's nice to have that outlet.
Yeah, you're always welcome. All right, so with that, yeah, slapping a little bass for us. There you go, a little air bass. So with that, we're gonna move on to the slam portion of the night. So we got 7 slammers here tonight. I had a couple people mention that at the last slam that we did, people weren't super stoked on the kind of like voting system that we used, which was having people vote in like a thing would pop up on Zoom and everyone in the crowd would vote. That people were more, they like the 5-person voting system. And so I kind of said to a few people that if we had enough people, we would pick some judges out of the crowd, and if not, we would go with a Zoom voting system. So I'm going to put the call out there for some judges. Hopefully, folks, if you're friends with somebody who's in the slam, maybe either don't put your hand up, or if you're going to put your hand up, try to be partial. But if we don't get 5 people, we're going to, Shimshon has Shimshoned us up a slightly, overly complicated new way of voting, but as always with Shimshon, brilliant and well thought out. So does anyone want to be a judge? Don't everybody jump at once.
All right.
Okay, Caitlin. So that's 1. Anyone else? Anyone else out there? Judges. Last call for judges. Oh, we got 2. Henry. Okay, so we need 3 more if we're gonna make this thing happen. Henry was kind of an early one, sort of like Ohio. Okay, Ken, great. And then Danielle. Sweet. And then we need 1 more. Mark, you're in the slam, buddy. Hey, how about Dieter's on your thing. How about Daniel? Daniel, you want to judge?
We got 1 here.
Oh, Giselle. Yeah, Giselle. Okay, we got 5 judges. Zach, okay. What's that, Michael? You're muted.
Maybe he's not talking to you.
Oh, can't
I couldn't unmute myself. I'm just saying yay for the judges. That's
yay!
all. I'm just, snapping.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That was complicated.
I thought you were like hand heckling me, like.
Oh yeah, it's like Kermit the Frogging you. I don't know what he's talking about. He's a crazy host.
That's more Yoda, I guess. Okay. So we got 5 judges. So the digital slam works much like the in-person slam. So we're gonna have 7 poets come up in the first round. They're each gonna read a poem that is 3 minutes or less. Afterwards, if they go over that 3 minutes, every 10 seconds that they go over, they will be docked half a point. And then afterwards, they're gonna get some scores from the 5 judges that have been randomly selected from the crowd. The judges will score out of between 1 and 10 to the first decimal place. So 9.5, for example, if you really love that poem. The highest score and the lowest score will be dropped for a total score out of 30. The top 3 poets will advance to the second round, and they'll read another 3-minute poem again. It is not cumulative, so the winner of the second round will win the slam. In the event of a tie, the poets have also been asked to prepare a 1-minute poem that will be used in the event of a tiebreaker. Is that Shimshon, you are going to do the Sacrificial Poet. Shimshon just private messaged me asking about asking if they are still going to be the sacrifice, and they will. Yeah. If any of the poets want a link to my PayPal, scores can get pretty high. Just saying. It sounds like you're pretty high, Henry. Okay, so as always, please let us know in the chat what you think of the scores. Let us know in the chat what you think of the poems. But as always, we are here to support people, uphold people. It takes a lot to get up there on the stage to read poems, but it takes even more than that, I think, to get up there and just have those poems assigned a number in front of a lot of people. As always, the number is not a marker of anyone's value. We always say, give it up for the poet and not the points, but we like the competition. It's fun. So let's have fun with it. Any questions? Anyone new to the slam genre that needs any of that repeated? I'm a few minutes ahead of schedule, so can rip through any of that. No, we're good. We're good. Okay. So to give the judges a taste of what it's like to judge, we're going to bring up a poet called the Sacrificial Poet. And for those of you who haven't been to a slam before, the idea behind the Sacrificial Poet is that when the first poet goes up to the mic, the audience is typically cold. I know that Erin and Dieter have nicely warmed up the audience. I can see at 5 out of 20 of you smiling. So I think you're pretty warm out there. But we're going to have a Sacrificial Poet come up anyways, give those judges a chance to test out those judging skills. They're going to read, they're going to be judged, but they will not be in the slam itself. But I just wanted to remind you judging folks out there, be yourself as a judge. If you want to give a 6 or a 7 is a good score. If you feel it's a good score, that's a good score. A 10 is like the best poem that you ever heard, or maybe, you are just generous, and that's okay too. But sometimes what happens is this little thing called score creep, where somebody gives a 10 and then everyone's like, whoa, 10s, like, well, let's pull up the 10s. And then the rest of the round is just like 10s and 9.9s across the board. And it kind of takes away from how the competition works a little bit. And so sometimes you're going to feel judged by the crowd. Ironically, you're going to feel judged. You're going to, Michael, it's like watching a silent cartoon, Michael. But please be yourselves, judges, give the scores you want. And if you're the Simon Cowell of the group, just know that Simon is rich. He's being a jerk all the way to the bank. And that's what you'll be too after being in this, is you're rich. So, okay. So without further ado, we're going to get to our wonderful sacrificial poet. Let's all have a warm IWC welcome for Shimshon.
Yeah, I feel really guilty about pressing the applause button for myself. All right. So this is a poem that is very much a work in progress, but I feel like is ripe for sacrifice. It kind of emerged out of an appointment I had with my doctor recently, where we were talking about dealing with my anxiety disorder and some of the things I can do to treat that and deal with it myself, while in, of course, this very pandemic-y pandemic that we're all in. Oh, sorry, Penny, I just realized I did not spotlight myself. I'm so sorry. All right, here goes. This is called Accelerating for Anxiety. Today, I'm prescribing you 12 minutes of walking outdoors every day. Think of it as part of your meds. 6 a.m., make it the first thing you do. Wake up early, it's just another one of your meds. A cold whistle confronting sleep-glued eyes, greeting dry lips. Take your meds, 13 minutes every day. Before coffee and breakfast, before brushing your teeth or showering, throw on a coat, offset pajamas, with dead skin, your first 14 minutes of the day. Lace up boots that haven't been out enough this winter, chafed heels, healing by bloodletting. Break it in 15 minutes at a time with your meds. This step and the next, a higher dose every minute of cold, of bleary, of morning, 16 minutes tomorrow, 17 minutes after that. Get those meds, 6 a.m., every drop, every cough, every bit of bile. You'll get better eventually if you take your meds. Time to fill your prescription. Hard, monotonous days, long, leaking nights, manic moods, sticky fingers, doleful with desperation for 18 minutes in meds, burning sore. But take your meds. For the good moments, fleeting as they come, one in every 19 minutes is one less moment in pain. You can wake up early. You can go outside. You can breathe cold air for 20 minutes. I'm prescribing you every day with your meds. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Shimshon. The gods will be very pleased with that sacrifice. All right, judges, what say ye? Caitlin says that was great. That's not a score, Caitlin.
I mean, I'll take it, right?
8.5 from Danielle. What do you think of that? People out there? 7.5 from Caitlin. 7.8 from Henry. Matt Mackenzie Ken Shaw doing a solid 8. We don't know what that means. It's like a fist bump. I lost it there. Okay, Giselle, we got an 8. Great. Okay, so in the actual slam, we would drop the 8.5, we would drop the 7.5, and Shimshon's total score would be 23.8. A very respectable score, Shimshon. That's pretty. There's some high scores for a sacrifice. So I think it's going to be. I think everyone's feeling warm and generous. So are we ready? Fist what? Yeah. I'm dilated 8 centimeters. Okay, we're moving on from the fisting jokes. All right, we got some fake applause. How ready are people? Let's see it in the chat. Who's ready for some poems? People, some lackadaisical stuff. Yeah. People are fired up. Yeah, let's do it. All right, now you're ready. Now you're ready to come. Okay, so first up in the slam that was organized all in the last 8 days and has book prizes instead of money because we're not charging for IWC right now. First up for the prize of books in the March 4th slam is Travis Andrews.
Woohoo, Travis!
Yeah, woo, Travis!
Hello. I'm trying a bit fancier of a setup here. Everyone can hear me all right? I can't see my screen over here. I'm going to assume that's a yes. I can see 2 yeses. Okay, I'm going to go. How much self-loathing is normal? I'll wait. Prostrate, and maybe it abates, but happiness in me seemed more like a dog in a car chase. I thought I caught it once, but it was just exhaust in the face, lost and disgraced. How much negative self-talk is normal per week? If someone spoke to my friends like this, they wouldn't leave in one piece. But I guess it's fine when it's me. I should know how to act to a degree. So that makes the snaps and snarls perfectly fine to receive. So apparently some part of me believes. I should know better. I should do, act, and think better. I should have this inner voice clapped in fetters, pushed down and tangled in its own ripped pink sweater. But I digress. And you see how it circles like that. You fuck up and you beat yourself up. So then you feel this level of guilt for how much you're beating yourself up. So you get mad at yourself for that. A never-ending cycle of a carousel that I put the quarter into myself and happily jumped up onto some kind of plastic animal. Probably a donkey. I wonder if it's one of those questions a lot more people ask than I realize. People steeped in their lives, hesitant, questioning. The people all around them, all legal ties meets evil eyes. I think a lot more people question if they're happy than we're willing to believe. I think a lot more people have that quiet moment in the dark, looking at their bedroom ceiling, when all is quiet save for breathing, that inner sigh and a mild reeling, in a silence that seems to amplify. One wonders, is this what I wanted? That moment always seems to stretch, a vague melancholy and despondence. And I'm very curious how long people will spend in that moment on average. A certain amount, surely shrug it off and continue their journeys into sleep's sweet grasp. But the others, how many are there, these others? Half a life ago, I began to have these moments with my ceiling. Late at night, the darkened room simultaneously telling me I'm right and wrong for what I'm feeling. And I thought it was an argument I would slowly learn to win as I got older, but I have to say that hope has grown thin, began to molder, like embers that no longer smolder. And sometimes I stay up too late, listening to music far too loud, and the sound of people's souls from halfway across the world causes me to reel and my head to bow. It is a riot against the loss of time. I want to live and I want to create. I want to be who my heart screams I am inside, in harmony, rhythm, and rhyme. I want to find every single person who feels the way I do, take their hand in mine, and we will glow so brightly sublime. And I want to scream, please let me become the man that I imagine. Will I ever have enough time? Will I ever affect anyone in a positive way? Will I ever successfully take this burning in my chest and turn it into something that will cause other people to lift their heads from their forearms? And by this time, it's about 3 a.m. I've managed to talk myself into an exhausted day of work, and I will spend the subsequent 24 hours being even more of a grumbling jackass than usual. So I stumble home and those headphones find my ears once more, and I ask myself, how much self-loathing is normal? And if you figure it out, please let me know. Thank you.
Oh man, got my computer set up on the box for our pressure canner and the lid just fell out. Scared the heck out of me. You ever seen Young Frankenstein? That movie scares the heck out of me. Can't remember what that's from, but my buddy Matt says it all the time. Okay, thanks so much, Travis. That was so great. I love you've got sort of like a tiny desk from home vibe going on there. I don't know if since the pandemic hit, I've been watching so much NPR Tiny Desk, and then I've like run through all the other ones and into all the ones where everyone's doing them from home. It's been great. It's been keeping me alive. Okay, judges. I've bought you enough time. What do we got here? We got an 8.5 from Henry. An 8.0. What do people think of that? Oh, Henry likes it. Henry gives it 2 thumbs up. Danielle says, wowza, 8.7. Kenshaw, 7.5. Caitlin, 8.9. And rounding things off, Giselle, 8.5. A nice, modest 8.5. Okay, give it up for the poets and not the points. Okay, so next up to the mic, this person's definitely slammed before. Almost everyone in this group has, so I'm just gonna keep rolling things through. But let's have a warm IWC welcome for Stephanie Thoreson.
Trying to unmute. Can you hear me now? Yeah. Blank walls and depression's veil. White walls and blank pages are Rorschach tests. The floaters in my deteriorating eyes bounce. Blurry shadows momentarily monstrous. White is emergency room cots, operating room ceilings, cold public bathroom tile, drywall I'm slammed against, a slippery path in the woods. Blank is alarmingly empty cupboards, a test I forgot to study for, the months I can't remember, the post-mortem gaze, lacking soul. White walls and blank pages are haunting. Give me a splash of any pigment. Scribble nonsense. Don't leave me to fill in the blanks. I can't be trusted with white space. My memories paint it red. Wired wrong, with neurotransmitters running amok, perception shifts drastically, painting experiences. The ups feel too shiny to be authentic. Each sensation a revelation to behold, with wide-eyed wonder of a toddler or the mind-bending high of a tweaker. When a depressive episode hits, the crash is dismissed as contrast. Sunshine radiating from my skin evaporates. Grayscale, heavy, reality is a damp, weighted blanket. The beauty is sucked out of every detail, as if it was only an illusion, imagined by my mania. Rare are the days where I comprehend Both polarities are veils I wear, tinted glasses, rose and black, Midas and Satan alternating. Truth is mostly in the middle. The mornings where I wake up draped in darkness, it seems as though those smiling have been fooled, and I see the painful verity of existence as sugar turns to ash in my mouth. And Paul.
Woo. Yeah, Stephanie, that poem was so great. You need to come out to IWC more, Stephanie. We need your words. That poem was wonderful. Have you done that poem before?
Not out loud.
Oh, it was so great. I really love it. It was super playful. It was like these images kind of ripping through. I really loved that poem.
Thanks.
Okay, judges, what say ye? Yeah, Stephanie, my mom says, whoa, awesome. So that's pretty high praise. Okay, we got a 7.8 from Daniel. Beauty, she says, fucking beauty. Some good Canadian comment there. 7.3 from Henry. From 7.me, says Henry. I like everyone's getting really creative with the way that they deliver their scores. It's pretty fun. It's better than the average judging, I think. It's more entertaining. Okay, we got a 7 from Caitlin. We got an 8.0 from SE. Who the fuck's that? Are you a judge, SE? Won't our judges change? Seriously.
I don't think so.
Uh-oh.
Giselle?
Oh, no, Giselle did an 8, and Ken did an 8.7. Did SE, who are you, SE? I don't think you're a judge.
I only have 5 written down.
Okay, so we got 7.8, 7.3, 7, 8, and 8.7. Oh, you're new here. Sorry, SE. Sorry, so I didn't mean to accost you. I thought you were somebody who's been around IWC and was maybe you changed your Zoom name and you were one of the judges and you just decided to change your Zoom name mid judging. It was confusing. But SE, welcome. I usually don't accost people the first time they come out to IWC and ask them to tell me who the fuck they are. So I promise next time. Hey, another little baby. SE, who's your friend?
Woohoo!
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Who's that?
This is Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. You're beautiful. Welcome to IWC.
It's his first poems.
Oh, so great. Where are you joining us from? Are you in Kelowna?
Yeah, in Kelowna.
Sweet. How did you hear about IWC?
My friend Natalie.
Natalie. Sweet. All right. Well, thanks for coming out. That was all the scores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. So basically what's going on here, SE, is we're doing a poetry slam. There's 5 judges who have been picked, and they're judging the poems. And so you're off the hook tonight. You don't have to judge, but next time, because you're so eager and you clearly know what you're doing, we're gonna rope you in. Okay. Moving on in the slam here. Next up to the slam, keep things moving on. We have SE's good friend Natalie up to the mic. Let's have an IWC round of welcome. Warm the mic. Applause.
Hi, just like to say thanks again to Cole and Erin and IWC for having me out because it's always a lot of fun. This is can everyone hear me? I've never used this before. I'm just gonna wait. Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, this is a new one I wrote. It's called Post-it Notes Under Greenwich Village. Give me something to come back to. Yellow roses behind glass since the day you moved in, a wooden bed frame with dents like crescent moons and carpet burn. I've thicker skin than when I left. New places are never bigger or better at first, only different. I stand on my tiptoes over the kitchen sink out of habit, as if 2 inches, 9 letters could bring me closer to your language. It took less to fall beneath it, less understanding and less light. These West Coast winters are being washed from my mother tongue, and I cry out of habit. I've not felt anything else so deeply as to call my own. Virgin frost just after midnight, how the concrete sidewalks tease like the stars. My kind of runway, I'll replay you like my favorite songs and snuff you out just the same. Callous, how the things that matter aren't always matter, but they always come with the fear of misplacing them. My stubbornness and exclamation points, my security, your greatest impulse. So I sat with the sticks and stones and fashioned them into a body I could leverage like crushed velvet, soft celebrations, more sheath than bone. I catch constellations only in fragments. Worry too, sometimes fall asleep with one hand to my beating heart. I end in every crevice, every watered down version of myself. Happy enough, asking for enough. An emerald green sofa, things I am manifesting into truth. I've not scaled enough mountain peaks to write theirs, and when was I conditioned to think this made me any less? Magnitude is relative. I could fill a subway tunnel with my 3 a.m. insomnia and derelict traditions. We are like pop punk bands and suburbia in how, despite it all, my energy returns to you. I see all your colors, if only when we fall out of rhythm, a price to pay for wanting to make a home. Thank you.
Yeah, Natalie. Crushing it. So good. Thank you. I was just kind of saying to Erin, I love you're so subtle. You don't oversell things, and you have this kind of like quietness and but powerful kind of aspect to your work, and it's nice. Sometimes slam poets are always yelling in your face, and there's great yelling in your face poems. I do some yelling in your face poems. I do some yelling in your face judging, but I love your style, Natalie.
Thank you.
All right, judges, what say ye? I'm always smooth, Michael. You know me. SMOO to TH. Smooth. 8 point. We got an 8 from Caitlin. Got a 9.3 from Giselle. Breaking the sound barrier. Giselle into the 9s. Henry says 9.2. Cole hasn't yelled in my face, and I'm missing it. Well, let me tell you, yelling in the face does not fall under the provincial guidelines right now, Henry. But soon, buddy. I will scream in your face in person soon. All right, we got a solid 8 from Ken. So soothing. 9.6 from Danielle. And that's it. That's all of them. Give it up for the poet, not the points. Okay, we're looking for the first round here. We so far. I just want to stop our next. Grace, have you made it yet? Are you out there? I was gonna move you to the end, but I just thought I'd check. Okay, so I'll move Grace to the end. So up next to the mic, we have. Oh, she's not coming. That's a bummer. Grace wasn't able to make it. They went down to the show at the alternator, and they're not able to make it. That's such a bummer. Caitlin has to pee. Caitlin will be right back.
Caitlin's a judge.
Okay. Well, you better go quick. Well, I was telling. Our family, I think, has like small bladders as like a hole, and Erin makes fun of me all the time because I pee too much.
Tell them about our first date.
We went on our first like fancy date when we were just like lovers in Portland, and went on a nice date, and I wore like the only like collared shirt that I packed. and we had this like really cool waitress. They were just like that kind of like really like kind of like grungy Portland sort of cool, but they were just those people that are just like, wow, you're really cool. And then so anyway, I was gonna go to the washroom and Erin called me piss pants. She called it out in a very tiny Portland restaurant. Hey, piss pants.
Oh, it's a good one, you guys.
Yeah, we did make out in the backyard, Michael. You're right. Michael caught us making out in the backyard before.
Yeah, that's another great story.
Before we were a thing. Classic piss pants. Yeah. The legend lives on 9. Michael gives that a 9 out of 10. So that's the highest one. We're gonna have to drop that score. All right. All right. How we doing? How's Caitlin's pee going, I wonder? Michael's having a good time. All right. How about everyone else? What is everyone else having? Oh, Caitlin's back.
It was great.
Caitlin's pee was great. Good to know. Okay. Thanks, Caitlin. Thanks for sharing. We're candid here at IWC, so I do appreciate that. Okay, so we're gonna get to our next slammer. Grace couldn't come. It's such a bummer. They're one of my favorite poets, and they just like they always bring such a kind of like funny and smart energy. So I was really looking forward to their poems. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to an IWC alum, currently one of the co-producers of the IWC podcast, doing a lot behind the scenes for Inspired Word Café. Let's have a huge IWC welcome for M. MacMillen.
Hello, everybody. So it's been a while since I've read anytime. Oh, thank you. So this piece is a newer one, and it's called Alien Girl. In the late hours of my mind, I think about the alien girl. Born in the recesses of 1994 to lands flatter than the back of her hand, she would lay down in the prairie grass and see the curve of the earth, the planet she was told she was from. Cheek in the dirt, her alien eyes would blink, seeing all 6 legs of the ant digging a hole. Her hair grew long, neither brown nor blonde, each long strand reaching out like wispy fingers, grabbing, kneading. She tied them back with thicker string, tied with alien fingers that pet the backs of baby frogs. Their little hearts beating in the palm of her hand, and she sat with a stillness before the wind, a stillness reserved for the back of the room, watching out the car window, waiting for the family to eat their dinner. Reserved for staring at herself in the mirror, examining every freckle and eyelash, cataloging every curve and tooth. This is mine, she thinks. This is yours, she is told. Yet she does not recognize herself when she walks by her thoughts. This smile is supposed to belong to her, but it is a stranger's smile she sees. Uneasily, she cuts her hair off, tangled knots clinging to people she doesn't remember, and they curl inwards on themselves, strands stroking her cheeks instead, cheeks red when the other humans scream, "Boy!" at her, as if a t-shirt is a crime against girlhood, a cloak removed. When she walked through her bedroom door, her alien body free from its wrappings until the next morning. Her legs grew longer, her hips grew wider, skin stretching over bone to fit a dress she never wanted to wear. It scratched at her neck and cinched at her waist. You'll grow into it, the alien girl was told, but she knew her body was not of human make, a mistake that only she could correct. But that stillness returned and bubbled under petticoat layers, sticky and thick. It held her quick and tight. Like the tendrils of her hair, it held on, a vice of silence and compliance under tool. Still, it could not reach that place in her mind where lifted words from story pages flew. There she would scream and dance naked in the sun, fly over mountains and eat chocolate off of the trees. Her alien knees scraped and bruised with dreams. And the years became longer and her hair grew shorter and she wore skirts less and less. Slowly, she peeled away layer after layer of tulle and petticoat, revealing her alien skin underneath to the blazing sun, edges curling in the warmth until the she turned to they, and the they turned to he. He still lies in the grass sometimes, thinking about the planet he's supposed to be from. I'll go home soon, he thinks. I'll go home soon, I think. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Em. All right, judges. Yeah, wow, so good. The chat's loving it. Let's have another canned round of applause for Em MacMillen, please. Yeah. All right, so we got an 9 from Caitlin, 9 from Giselle, 9.4 from Danielle, sorry. My alien boy hairs be blazed, but a 10 from Ken Shaw. And an 8.9 from Henry.
All right. Give it up for the poet and not the...
Yeah, give it up for the poet and not the points, but those are some pretty good points too. So. All right, rolling along here. A good friend of our poet Dieter Horn. Up to the mic next, we have Mark Bertolutti. Let's have a warm welcome, round of applause for Mark Bertolutti. Hey, Mark, you're muted.
You got it. Probably...
Hey, Shimshon, can you send a unmute request to Mark, please?
Yeah, I've been sending them. I think his clicks aren't going through. Sorry. Let me try sending another one.
It's all good. Don't worry, Mark. We're not timing here, buddy.
Got me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
All right, timer's starting over here.
Okay, I'm a lyrical poet. I write the short lyrical poems, and this one is called Angel in Hell. I seen a vision on TV and reminisced of you and me. We can't say forever, though we still can't say never. Have you ever seen the light? Try to get a grip and hold on tight. Have you ever touched the hand of God and prayed with all your might? In a world taken over by technology, a world you couldn't predict we'll see, in a world threatened by insanity, is there an angel in hell willing to save our souls? Is there an angel in hell who can save this world as a whole? If there is an angel in hell, please come and take control. Waiting for tomorrow, hoping it'll be a better day. It'll be a different day. It'll be a different time in another way. So God, please save our souls, the world as a whole. Take my last breath and give me control. Wholesome and true, Lord, that's all I want to do. All I want to do is respect you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Mark. Was that a new poem, Mark?
Relatively.
I don't know if I've heard that one. I like that one.
Cool. Thanks.
All right, judges. What say ye? I'm going to mute you here, Mark. Penny says, woot woot. Caitlin says, you're muted. Pretty good stuff. Henry says, angel in hell, and Mark's an angel in my heart, 8.3. 6.8 from Danielle. That was super cool from Caitlin, 7. Giselle in with an 8.2. And Ken says, love to hear a fresh one, 6.5. All right, let's give it up for the poet, not the points. All right. And the last poet, I'm sure you know who you are. Oh, another baby. Hello, Azalea. What's going on? You're up to the mic, Azalea. All right, next up to the mic, IWC's own El Presidente, or the President, Rikki Bassett.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? I don't know how far away I am. Okay. 13 years with my love, of kisses and fights, dirty diapers and sweet baby snores, school lunches and dinner fails. I think of how little I know of this man I have chosen to share my life. He is still a mystery, hiding secrets in his beard and cargo pants. I search and search, and when I find one, I cherish it. Is he really so different? Emotions as shallow as my pockets, thoughts only as deep as the forest of body hair I do not have? Or if I delve into the nooks of his soul, will I find more? Has society buried sentiment so deep? I know there is more. Things he forgets or chooses not to share, like money in a winter jacket, found by accident and delighting me, or an apple core discarded on the floor, only found when garbage is cleared. I'm happy to be keeper of secrets, but he dishes them out slowly. I am greedy for more, but he will not be rushed. So I will wait and continue to let him be a mystery.
That got smooth. I love that one. How long has it been since you read, Rikki? Did you read poems at the last open mic when you hosted?
I did. Yes. That's a new one. I just finished that one today.
Oh, dope. I love that one. Everyone, you're getting lots of yays. Using the baby to get the points. Yeah. We said no props, Rikki.
Look at those cheeks. Guys, you got to see how much they squish. Look at this. Look at these.
Remember, judges, you're judging the poem, not the baby. Give it up for the poem and not the baby. That's what we say here at IWC. Okay, we got some scores coming in. 7.5. We got an 8.5 from Caitlin. Good baby prop, says Caitlin. We got a 7.9 from Danielle. From Henry, 7.8. I too wish to know more of this mystery man.
Good luck, Henry.
And rounding out the scores, we've got an 8.1 from Giselle. No comment. All right, give it up for the poet, not the points. Not the baby. Enough baby clapping today.
That poor baby.
You're all right, Azalea. I kid. Penny gives a 10 for Azalea. All right, claps and snaps from M. So that closes out our first round, people. So while we wait for our wonderful score person to tally the scores and announce which three poets made it into the second round, we are going to show I think that there's been, maybe it's a little heteronormative, Michael, but there's been some poems with some with maybe not so heteronormative content, right? You gotta read between the lines. I know you take everything so literally, Michael, but that one poem was not about aliens. All right.
Oh, we've got a screenshot here. What's going
this ought to
on
be
here?
good. Somebody's sending dick pics. Don't worry, this one was solicited.
Open.
Yeah, I love that one as well. They're like, no, the Drake no to the Joe Rogan podcast, the Drake yes to the IWC podcast. All right, I babbled on enough. Shimshon, run the clip.
Hi, glad you could make it. Got your coffee?
Tea?
Scone? All right then, let's get started. Welcome to the Inspired Word Café. I'm Shimshon.
And I'm Em.
And this is a podcast that brings all the excitement of the written and spoken words of the Inspired Word Café home to your headphones.
Whether you've been to one of our reading events, poetry slams, or workshops before,
or even if this is your first time hearing about the Inspired Word Café,
we've got a little something to scratch your writerly, readerly, literary itches.
That's right. Every month we'll be bringing you a well-caffeinated dose of poetry, prose, and all the fresh brewed goodness of the written word.
Here we'll be shining our coffeehouse spotlight on local writers from in and around the Okanagan Valley.
Plus, stay tuned for our special episodes of Inspired Word Café live events, which we'll be dropping while they're hot.
Subscribe now to the Inspired Word Café podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and the Google Podcasts app.
Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Thanks for stopping by the cafe.
All right, well, order up, people. Am I right? Who?
Order up.
I don't know. I heard the ding. And who here? Quick show of hands. Who's a podcast person? Are people into the podcast? Yeah, look in some hands. Have you checked out the IWC podcast? Yeah, we're getting some thumbs up and some nods. All right. Michael's been here before, maybe, of them.
Seen them.
Or listen.
It's a podcast.
Whatever. Listen. Been there. Wait, so there's a cafe. Where's the cafe located? It says Nigel. Real funny, Nigel. You're a real jokester. Well, listen here, Mr. Jokey Joke Maker. There's no cafe, Nigel. You know that's a soft spot for me. Okay, I made the meme today because my new boss recommended JRE, so I recommended our podcast. Sick. Yeah, that's a good counter to. I think we are kind of the counter to Joe Rogan. Like we're sort of like the like what's it called? What are those like opposites called? Like there's like a really complicated name for like polar opposites. I can't remember, but we're that of Joe Rogan.
And Uno reverse.
That's it. That's it, Henry. Okay, so.
I like when I'm right here and then it looks like just Heath is in the shot. Look. You can't see. You have to look at that.
Yeah, I love that. Loving that. Okay, we're going to move on to the final round here and get out of here while we're all still young. Up next, our first poet of the second round is, drum roll.
Can I tell them who made the second round?
No, I don't tell them who made it. It's got to be a surprise. Up next, M. MacMillen.
All right. So this next poem that I have is one I've read before. It's called Exterior Large Field, Late Afternoon, 4:53 p.m. A small copse of aspen trees, lone in the expansive short grass field. Streaks of pink and blue swirl together, half reflecting the setting sun and bruising the sky. First rolling through the grass, a breeze whistles up, racing forward and up into the aspen leaves. You raise the remote to lower the volume. Like prison bars, the trunks of the aspens encircle a clearing. The breeze slips between the trunks, darting ahead madly, its skirts tangling with the scrape of metal on dirt, dry and heavy. You press your cheek into the cool bark, the leaves roughly shaking overhead, with the breeze dancing and laughing above the scene. A woman in a beige suit is digging a hole in the center of the clearing. Her face is worn but focused, dark eyes beacons of the hole before her. Nearly 5 feet by 5 feet, spots of late day light trail along the outer edge of its lip, teetering on the edge of its swallowing blackness. You press the pause button. The top 3 buttons of her navy blue shirt have been tugged loose, sweat slick on her collarbone. Huff, huff, her chest tight with shallow breaths. Wrinkles run ragged up her arms, sleeves bunched from being shoved up. One trickling line drips down her back, tracing her spine like an invisible finger pooling at her tailbone. You press the play button. The scene continues. Slamming into the dirt, the shovel sticks. She presses the sole of a sensible pump, once also beige and now a stained and speckled brown and black, into the edge of the shovel. The leather bends. The tip pops up in a spray. You rest your chin on the ground. Her pant hem swishes around her ankles, wet and sodden, trodden in mud. A waterfall of dirt chunks go sprinkling into the hole. You stare up at her from the bottom, the earth raining down in feather-like touches tapping above your cheekbones. You can see. There is something hanging from her jacket, a tangle of thread where a button used to be, popped off when she bent over too many times. Cut to half it buried in the dirt. The breeze leaps through the umbrella of trees, drifting and spinning down to tug and dance through the ends of the woman's jacket, tickling the tangled thread and sifting through her loose legs. The breeze wants to play. It wraps their fingers in the woman's hair and pulls, demanding. Play with me, huff. Play with me, huff. Its swirling petticoats are smothering. Zoom in on the tip of the shovel. Scrape, dump, huff. Behind her, the growing pile of dirt looms, creeping tendrils snaking from the base, tip grazing her heel. Huff, huff. The aspen leaves shiver until the breeze falls away, wisping back through the trees with a sigh. You want to kick the dirt away. Standing next to her, you lift your hand to warm her clammy cheek. But your hand presses into the TV screen instead, and you can only watch her dig. Huff, huff. End scene. Thank you.
Awesome. Not the tightest IWC ever, but man, it's fucking sweet poem. Really made up for it. Just in case anyone's wondering, the winner of tonight's slam will win a copy of Toni Morrison's Beloved. Pretty good book. You read this one, Dieter? You're not in the slam. You're not gonna win it, but you should pick it up. Okay, whoa, says Henry. Great book, says Penny. The Toni Morrison. Yeah. That's her. Okay, judges, what do we got here? What kind of scores you got? Let's finish this thing off. 8.4 from Danielle. Int Zoom chat evening. 8.8 from Ken. Interesting, maybe. We're not on the same wavelength tonight, Ken. I keep thinking you're stoned, or I don't understand your
Ken is stoned.
We got an 8.7 from Giselle, who says great imagery. 8.9 from Caitlin. That was amazing. Really cool prize. Poem was. I read that out of order. And finally, we've got an 8 from Henry Grayson, From Outer Space to Inner Earth. M can do it all. That's right. That's M's slogan. M has recently rebranded, so M's rolling that one out soon. You'll. Okay, moving on to the next poet here. The next poet of the final round is Natalie.
Okay. This one I've read before as well. I wrote it for my mom last year, and she's never actually heard this one out loud before, so I know she's listening today, so this one's for her. To my mom on her 60th birthday. We joke about you and Dad being helicopter parents, how you still want me to text you when I get to work for my graveyard shifts. I know you're in bed by then, but only half asleep because you're waiting for the phone in your hand to vibrate. I know that worry will not skip a generation passed down from your mother, like how you passed your sunspots to me. We were never outwardly expressive people. You didn't realize my academic difficulties had been affecting me emotionally until I said something about it. I know you were worried when I decided to move away. I was not led in the belief of one single God. I'm sure you spoke to all of them before trusting I would be all right for this and so many opportunities before it. There is art on my walls, and they are painted in your selflessness. Some people say moms have superpowers. Yours was making me feel guilty without saying a word, without even looking at me, the kind of guilt that creeps up on you like a monthly credit card statement, shoves the weight of a bowling ball down your throat and leaves it there. Now we call it self-discipline. Costco fries, but only every other week or after a physics test. Seattle on a school day for my favorite bands. We don't listen to the same music, but you like meeting new people, and you've showed me that keeping friendships from all different chapters in your life takes patience. It takes the time that is time not spent at work or grocery shopping, driving my sister and I to tap dance lessons, piano lessons, your mom to her doctor's appointments, time spent at her hospital bedside when it was time to let go. I poke fun at you for always having your camera within arm's reach, but our best memories are only here until they're not. All we'll have are yesterday's blues falling into softer pinks, filling the pages of your photo albums, the strongest heart I know. You like poems that rhyme, but these last few lines will have to do. Happy birthday. Know that when I throw myself into everything I love, I think of you. Thank you.
Yeah, sick. I'm gonna keep the witty banter to a minimum and keep rolling here. What do we got, judges?
I was gonna say, who's crying out there?
Yeah.
Anybody crying?
Yeah, we don't.
Danielle says that she's crying. Are you crying, Michael? What about you, Penny? Is Penny crying out there?
Danielle says, so many tears, 9.8 from Danielle. Sniff, sniff, says Giselle. Hope that's crying, Giselle. 9.2. Caitlin says, that was super sweet. Or super sweet, probably. 7.5 out of 10. Henry Grayson says 9.5. I've got the shivers, and moms are pretty cool. Thanks, Henry. We're waiting on one score here.
Ken.
9 from Ken. Extra snaps for reading it with your mom here. Comma, brave. Okay. Let's give it up for the poet, not the points for that one. Let's do it. The final poet up to the mic for the impromptu slam. Rikki back. Put down your crochet hooks, Rikki. You're up to the mic. Yeah, you. With the baby.
I didn't think I was gonna be in this round.
So modest.
You're only in it by 0.1.
Yeah, it was really tight, everyone, by the way. The like between 3 and 7 was like a point. So everyone, if you didn't make it to the second round, you shouldn't feel bad. It was a really tight race with so many wonderful poems. So you ready, Rikki?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. You fell asleep while playing, just a gradual closing of eyes, little eyebrows raised, trying to stay awake. Resistance was useless against the need. I sit on the floor of my room. You are limp and warm in my arms, slumbering with peace, held in loving embrace. You are getting so big, heavy and slightly awkward. My body rocks anyway, not wanting to disturb the calm. Daily tasks beckon, but I hesitate to encourage independence, to put you down, the last of my babies. I hold on just a little longer, breathing in the baby scent and looking at long eyelashes that rest on chubby cheeks. Soon you'll be crawling, each knee bend and hand slap taking you just a little bit further away, getting ready for the next adventure. Don't hurry, sweet baby. Let's rest together, enjoying the time we have before we both must move.
Caught me off guard there, Rikki. I was sneezing in the corner. Sniff, sniff. Okay. Okay, Rikki, thanks so much for closing out that round. We're going to do some basic math over here.
Well, you need to get the scores first.
Need to get the scores. Scores. Always with the scores. That's always all I hear out of here. Okay, we got...
Piss pants over here, eh?
Bringing it back around. There we go. 8.0 from Danielle. Giselle says, sweet poem, Rikki. 8.2. Rikki Bassett says, it's almost bedtime. You're telling me. Caitlin says, God, my motherly feelings. 8. Henry says 8 because it's great. And waiting on Ken. Smoke another one, Ken. 7.5. So sweet, Rikki, says Ken. Okay, that rounds out our scores. For the scored person over here. I was going to make a Seinfeld reference, and then I figured that a Nazi joke is probably not so 2021. I was just going to talk about the soup guy from Seinfeld, but it's not. Okay, we're moving on from those jokes. Erin has got the scores here. Keeping in mind, we're playing for a copy of Toni Morrison's best national bestseller Pulitzer Prize winner, Beloved. John Leonard from a newspaper says it's a masterwork. Pretty good prize. Okay, we got the scores here. Let's have a drum roll, people. It'll be silent. You got a canned drum roll, Shimshon? No, probably not. Okay.
I could do this.
In third place, winning 0 Toni Morrison books, but taking home some, I don't know, third place. We have Rikki. Yeah, Rikki. Yeah. Good job, Rikki. In second place, also taking home 0 Toni Morrison books, we have M. MacMillen. Have a round of applause for M. Second, that's pretty good. It was a pretty tight field of competitors. And as you may have deduced, in first place, the other poet from the third round, Natalie, tricking everyone with a mom poem. We all got mom. That was bad. That was big win, Natalie. Do you have this one, Natalie? Do you have this one, Natalie? You're muted, Natalie. Your big speech is going off. You're gonna have to thank Jesus again. Here, hold on.
Oh no, just sorry. No, I don't have it, and I've been really bad at reading books lately, so this will be good for me.
Yeah, I knew that.
Thank you.
I thought you're bad at reading, so this is why we got you this one, Natalie. All right, that's it. Thanks so much for coming out, everyone. Let's have a big round of applause for all the poets who competed and shared their work tonight. Yeah, woo! Yeah, let's round, snaps and claps and cheers for Dieter coming out and putting some poems that I did for the first time. We got some sponsors to thank. Thanks, City of Kelowna and FCCS for all your generous support. Maybe Henry could think of something funny to say to all our sponsors while we're doing it. Thanks to the volunteers and the audience especially. Thanks everyone for coming out tonight, supporting IWC in March. I know it's a month away from April Fool's Day, which is going to be our next show. By the way, probably going to be semantics. Maybe we just won't have a show. We'll tell everyone it's going to be down at the alternator, and then do it from home. That'd be a good one. Seriously though, thanks everyone for coming out. I'm sorry it went a little later than we usually have been doing online, but I appreciate you sticking it out. And as always, be gentle with yourself so you can be gentle with someone else. We love you. We'll see you in April.